Hello, everybody, and welcome to Star Chasers, Episode 3, the Glyth Run. I had to remember what it was called for a second, because we have a name for the show now. Yay!
Woo!
Chasing our star.
So, Sean can't join us tonight, so Chimken has a case of the stomach chills, which he has diagnosed himself and prescribed a tonic and bed rest. So he's below deck for this adventure.
Mostly cocaine.
Probably right.
Last time, the party first saw the Centurion Hawk, and there was a lot of "what a hunk of junks." Part of it fell off while they were examining it. Alvar assured them it's a great ship. You don't even know. So you guys took a tour and it seemed to work, and it did indeed fly. So yeah, you took off and you chatted a bit. The Glyth Warminster is kind of above deck while Alvar pilots the ship, which is a Rube Goldberg machine to turn on. Spoilers, none of that does anything. It's all for show.
Magic.
It's all magic. Magic pilots it. He is a spellcaster. But he made it better with all this tinkery bullshit.
Sure.
And you were introduced to Bubsy, the giant space hamster, who is pictured on the overlay today.
Presume this way.
Yeah, nailed it.
Nice.
And then they encountered some skeleton space mines, which when they got near, exploded and released a bunch of skeletons left over from one of the Unhuman Wars. So we'll pick up a couple days later. So everybody get a long rest. Anything you would have want to do in the interim is acceptable. So above deck, once again, is Warminster. Every once in a while, Alvar will stop flying. He'll get out of the helm to kind of take a little rest. And Warminster takes over, and the ship noticeably slows down when he does.
Okay.
So he only does it for a little bit at a time while Alvar gets some sleep. But you guys are cruising along, and Alvar is back in the helm, and Warminster is consulting some space charts, and he kind of drags his finger across the course, and he nods. And he yells into the old-timey communication system, "Sir, we seem to be going toward Glyth. Is that correct?" And then there is no response. So Warminster says, "All right, then."
A couple things.
Mm-hmm.
First things first, I'm going to wake up with a touch of fate.
Oh, yes.
A 12 and a 16.
Pretty good. Good
They
spread.
will probably be used offensively for us. And probably over the last several days, I will be keeping mage armor on. But also, I will probably be clairvoyeuristically spying on the spell jamming procedure.
Okay.
I want to try to figure out what it does, but I don't want to just be standing at the door like a jackdawed idiot. So I will be in my room, which I have given Marley perhaps Stockholm Syndrome because it's our room, whether she likes it or not. I don't take up a lot of space. Also, I have a big owl now, my familiar, Willow. But yeah, so I will kind of sit in my room and scry at least once or twice a day on just probably a lot of him just sitting there with his eyes rolled back in his head, but I'm very curious about the process.
Yeah, give me an Arcana check.
Okay. I will do that. Yes, that is an 18.
Okay. So yeah, spying on him, you're kind of catching the drift of this. It does seem like it's just an extension of him in a way. So you'll notice that sometimes when the ship banks, he'll kind of raise one hand to lower the other and lean one way, and kind of to speed up, he moves his hands forward on the helm, and he seems to be able to see everything that's happening around the ship, even though it looks like he can't see in front of him.
Okay.
So sorry, go ahead.
He's been described as having a cerebral helmet. Does he have the blast shields down like Luke?
So you can see when he first puts it on, his eyes roll back, and he lowers goggles over his eyes, almost like sensory deprivation things.
Okay.
And yeah, kind of as you observe, you think you could probably do this at some point.
Okay. Other times when I don't feel like using the spell slots, I just send my giant bird to just walk in. If you put a jacket on it, he probably thinks it's a halfling out of the corner of his eye, so it's fine.
Do you have a little jacket that you keep at the ready?
Of course I do.
What kind of question is that?
Just checking. It was like Storm's doing the laundry. Is this yours?
Oh, yes.
The right size. It's nice.
Suspiciously big armholes.
Yeah. Covered in...
It's good to have ventilation under there, especially when it gets swampy out, you know?
Yeah.
What's the climate like aboard ship?
So, aboard the ship, you are a little surprised to find that wild space is room temperature. It's about 65 degrees.
Convenient.
Yeah.
My coffee gets cold and my ice cream gets warm.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
And if you ask Warminster about it, he'll say that every sphere has a different temperature, but for the most part, they tend to be around this temperature. For instance, he'll say Kryn space is awfully cold, and he doesn't know why, but he's sure somebody knows why.
Interesting. And Warminster, you flew the ship yourself, yes?
Yes. Not very good at it, but I can.
Why do you say you're not very good?
He'll say, not much of a spellcaster, more of a point-and-shooter myself, and it runs off of magic. And
you have magic?
Just a tad.
I see.
Healing spell
I'm very interested. That's some of the best magic. I'm interested in how this works. I'm a spellcaster.
He says, of course, a bard. You also can heal. I was the highest ranked field medic in my unit. 1 whole level in cleric.
Wow. Not too many healers for your unit would.
No.
Was that just how it wound up because of the circumstances of war, or?
It's usually rub some dirt on it. That's about it.
Right.
But he'll say, no, of course. Any spellcaster can use a helm. The more powerful you are, the more potent spells you have left, the better the ship runs.
I see.
So, for instance, kind of looking you up and down, he says, I can see you're a talented spellcaster, but if you blow all your counter spells and synaptic statics and fire's ball, and only have first level spells left, won't go very fast. Kind of a tugboat situation. What?
What?
Interesting. What?
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 Couldn't.
What?
You got it. I couldn't help but over here that we are headed towards Glyth.
Yes.
I
Terrible
thought we were-
place.
Why are
the
we
better.
going there?
I believed we were going to Fate Space.
Yes. It's a shortcut to the edge of the sphere, you see. It's a bit dangerous, but it's shorter.
Yes, I see.
What are the dangers?
Oh, mind flayers, you see.
Oh,
Glyth is one of their homes.
I saw some of those back in Brawl.
Yes, they're rather cordial on Brawl, less so in Wild Space. They know they can get away with it.
Yes, they're slavers.
Oh. Only in the basest sense of the word, they usually eat you much more quickly than you would ever have to work in any kind of slave. Nyogi, those are the slavers. You gotta watch out for them. They don't much like halflings, though. They find their work ethic to be lacking.
Excuse me?
Hey, don't talk to me, talk to the slavers.
It does seem like it'd be a slaver's mindset.
Well, I don't know that I should correct them. Then they'd think I'd make a better slave.
Well, they may kill
Still,
people.
I'm
They
very
don't think we'd be
properly
good
turned out
slaves.
by the very idea. Also, I only have the Gith's opinion to go on that the mind flayers, illithids.
Illithids, yes.
Yes.
Never met one. Or, I mean, seeing the ones at Brawl was... I've only heard, you know.
Yes.
And Chimken seemed to not really think much of them.
Well, they're woefully
least-
unpleasant, no, yes.
No, I mean, he dismissed them. And I've always been... I mean, I imagine it's the sort of truce nature... what's the term?
Yeah. He'll say on Brawl, they are harmless. They would never break the rules of Brawl, and no open
Right.
conflict
It's
is
a
welcome
sanctuary.
there.
Sanctuary.
It's a sanctuary city, exactly.
That's what I was thinking. Yes.
Yes. Invite an Eladrin and an Orc to the same dinner party, and they'll get along famously.
But
But
Warminster will laugh and kind of jovially slap you on the back.
She shoots off the deck.
thank you.
I grab her quickly.
Warn a girl, but yes, I think we're all speaking the same language. Anyway, we all know that Eladrin are truly vicious villains. So,
The Eladrin?
yes, nasty, nasty.
Faye, so powerful, but yes.
Don't get me started.
Well, I mean, we're on deck. I mean, I might as well get you started if you have a story to tell.
Well, really, I think the story is, why are we going through Glyth? I'll stomp my foot on the deck.
Didn't you just say it was because it's a shortcut?
Yes.
It'll make getting to Wild... What is it?
Make getting to the Phlogiston and then Fate Space much faster.
Fate Space, that's what it was. Yeah. I mean, how long would it take if we went otherwise?
Oh, adds about 3 or 4 days.
So, worth it
Yes.
to risk mind flayers?
Oh. As we said, made the Glyth Run in under 12 footlongs, you see.
I still think you're speaking utter nonsense, but I have heard that, I suppose. I cast mage armor on myself,
Okay.
and then I go below deck.
Before you go below deck, can I get a perception check?
Oh, heavens no. I mean, I suppose so. Oh, boy. Oh, I can't roll ones.
Everybody else make perception checks as well, please.
Okay.
I still don't think it's very good because I'm not very wise. I'm not, but okay. It's better than a 1.
8.
8?
14.
14?
An 11.
11. Okay. Marley, as Hester turns the corner, you kind of see over her head something glint in wild space, and it's rushing towards you, and it is a ship that looks like that.
I knew it. The minute you said a perception check, I was like, okay, trouble.
So I'm gonna kind of squint and kind of point over Hester, like, what is that? Is that a ship coming at us?
I presume it's easily seen once pointed at?
Yes, and it is getting bigger, so it is easier to see as it approaches.
I will take this time to glower at Warminster, then I will also point at it.
Yes. He'll grab the little microphone thing and say, "Yes, Mind Flayer's off to port, sir." And you hear Alvar bark back, "Keep this line clear, I'm concentrating." And then you guys all bank to starboard. And Warminster catches Storm as he kind of goes by, sets him back up. You got everybody else kind of slides down the deck. There's a railing, so nobody falls off or anything. But
I'm unlikely to fall over any solid railings because I'm probably mostly below them.
Low center of gravity.
I would like to call Willow up.
In the form of a dog.
No, she just does that.
Barking owl.
She thinks it's very funny, I think.
That would be very disconcerting. Imagine.
As Warminster sets you down, Storm, he says, "Now, quite, my dear fellow. Fetch me my footlongs. They're quite properly labeled."
Where?
Oh,
He'll
what? No.
He'll point to...
Is it too late to play another game?
Nope. We're done. I mean, yes, it is too late. That's what I meant.
It is too late, I understand.
Yeah, he'll point to the little captain's hut thing, and on the front, there's a couple panels, and they just say Warminster's armaments on them.
Okay. I'll support him. So I run to the cabinet. Is it unlocked?
Yes.
I open it, and there are footlong.
There is a little case that says footlong, and you can see they are, yay long rockets in there.
Okay. Great.
I'm so mad at you, Andrew.
I take the case, I run over to him, and I hand it off.
Thank you.
Rightio.
Yes,
I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna say, I'm so excited to see this. I'm really excited. I'm gonna give him inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I just think you're gonna make this hole amazing.
So it's not a measurement of speed.
No.
A measurement of
Or space.
It's how many
no matter
rockets,
how many rockets it took you to get through it. I don't care for any of it.
Okay. He will say, "Well, anyone is free to take any of my arms. Ballistas up front. If you don't have any spells, but we better get on it."
I'll take an arm, and I'll run to a ballista.
Okay.
Up front.
You can head over to the ballista, and they are +6 to hit. And he'll hand you some footlongs. They do 4d12.
Dude. Nice. 4d12.
I cast Greater Invisibility.
Good. Where did that little...
See?
Where did she go? Did she turn into an owl?
Yeah, Warminster will say, "Maybe this is what the Inoyogi are talking about. Shirking duty."
I'm right here.
Oh! Pardon me.
And I can still cast spells like this, you know.
It's not a constipation spell.
It is a constipation spell, but casting doesn't blow it up at greater.
Right.
Marley, is there anything
Great.
you would like to do to prepare?
Yeah, can I throw down my bear spirit?
Sure.
Just to prep us.
Excellent.
Bam.
Please let me know how many hit points.
5 plus my druid level, so 8. So 13.
That's so many temporary points.
We all get the 13 again?
Yes. Yes.
Holy sheepdog! I just erased that from last time. Now it's
Yeah, me
back.
too. But
Hooray.
and I wasn't sure if it was a set number or not. But
Yeah.
excellent.
That's really great.
Is my owl included in that?
It says each creature of my choice in the aura. So as long as it stays in 30-foot area,
Excellent.
I think is what
He
it
now
is.
has 14 hit points.
And you said our deck is 60 feet long, is that right?
Yeah, like 60 feet of viable moving around space.
So if we put the spirit in the center of that
Yeah, it's a
distance,
30-foot
it's
radius.
30 foot on either side, so that'll cover the whole ship.
Oh, I will. You know what? I will hold my greater invisibility. I knew it couldn't be blown up, but it also only lasts a minute. Is the trade-off? So let me
Oh.
wait until they are closer and we are in clear danger.
Right, you keep blowing spell slots, just getting invisible, and then... Oh, wait, they're not here yet.
Yeah. Oops.
Okay, now I'm invisible. Oh, they're not here yet. I thought they'd be here.
Okay. Everybody give me an initiative roll.
Yes, yes.
But we're gonna do this a little different.
Okay.
But still give me the roll. What you got? Why did I put away my pen? That was silly.
Do you want Willow to act independently?
For this, no. So just
Okay.
just the characters roll.
Okay, and you still want us to add our initiative
Yes,
bonus and everything?
yes.
Okay.
Everyone be aware, this is your weekly reminder, you do not roll ones the first time you roll a 1.
Cool.
Hester has a feat that makes sure none of her friends roll 1s.
But if you rolled the second one, you'd have to keep that.
Yeah.
Well, the second one would be 2, wouldn't it?
Ah, excellent point. Andrew?
Sounds ironclad to me. Okay. Marley, what did you get?
9.
9. Hester?
4.
4. Oh boy. Storm?
13.
13. Okay. Pardon me, I have to do some quick math. That's actually not that hard. Okay.
Maybe Chimken vomit at them out the porthole.
It's an oil.
Weaponized.
It's like
I'm
an
sure
oil
he has
slick.
a weaponized vomit. Right. In space, floating. Just like, ugh.
Okay.
Just make ourselves too gross to approach.
So, your ship had the better total initiative score, so you guys are going to go first.
Ooh.
So,
Very curious.
every ship round, everyone gets to take 1 turn. You can act in any order.
Okay.
Okay.
Warminster will, for the most part, act on his own, but he will take suggestions if anybody wants them. I'm not going to be like, no, Warminster would never do that. Warminster's going to shoot a gun at that ship. That is going to be his turn every time, pretty much.
Right.
And because an NPC is piloting the ship, I will be controlling the maneuvering of the ship.
Okay.
Great.
But you guys get to go first. The Nautiloid is closing fast with you. Alvar has sped up, and he's kind of skimming in between a moon and the planet and like an asteroid field, and he's kind of like sideways going through. And you pull clear, and you can see the Nautiloid has swung around. So it's about it's within firing range for anybody who wants to go. So who wants to go? Anybody have an action they want to take? Otherwise, Warminster will shoot one of his footlongs.
I'm going to shoot a footlong too.
Okay.
So, yeah.
+6.
Right. Dirty 20. You said that was 4d12?
4d12.
I'm assuming I hit, but I'll wait for your ruling.
You do hit, yes.
Okay, cool. Wow. Wow. 33 points of damage.
Excellent.
Yeah. One of my rolls was an 11, and the other was a 9. Yeah.
Okay, you have used
one. And is this just like a missile weapon, or does it explode?
It explodes when it hits the ship. So you can see almost like a little fireball in there.
So it's fire. Okay.
It is some kind of fire weapon, yeah.
So these are not phlogiston friendly weapons.
No.
Note to self.
Most of what Warminster has is not phlogiston friendly.
No, yes, he's
right,
and he will go.
He's the pyrotechnician
in the sphere.
Yeah, he will go over phlogiston safety techniques towards the end, and he stays below deck a lot in the phlogiston.
Yeah, while smoking a cigarette, no doubt.
Safety meeting, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not a cigarette.
How far away is the Nautiloid?
For the purposes of spells, they are 100 feet away.
Okay.
Because of how wild space works, you kind of have infinite range, as long as you can see it. So I'm going to say you have 100 feet of range.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, spells that anything over 100 feet is totally fine.
Okay.
Anything under you might roll with disadvantage, but you can still hit it.
Okay. How difficult do these ballista look to operate?
Do you have any weapon proficiencies?
Oh, what a fantastically condescending question. Does the quarterstaff count?
You think you would probably have +3 to hit with these.
I see. Well, and actually, I don't know that it's my turn. Has Marley gone yet?
Oh,
sorry, I'm jumping the gun. I just want to lay of the land.
Well, you can. Everyone can act in whatever order they want.
Okay, right. I, with Willow's help, will try to fire the ballista.
Okay. The bird lands on it, and you swivel the ballista.
Yeah.
They're smart, those owls.
Does a 13 hit?
Let's see. Oh, it's 2nd edition. I gotta do math. Okay, hold on. It does hit.
Excellent. Oh, geez, what do I roll?
4d12.
Oh, for them too. Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I hit him with. The same thing.
Oh, I thought you hit with a fire stick.
Or do you not want to use a footlong? Because then it's 2d6.
Oh,
there's a pile. There's a pile of them by the.
Okay, well, no, I mean, goodness gracious, I'll use the big boomsticks that I've seen them using. So it's 4d12.
Yes,
that's great. Okay, that's a 7. That's an 8. So that's 15. That's a 1. So that's 16, and that's an 11. That's 27.
Ooh.
And I would like to think that Willow and I just kind of swivel to each other. Am I? She points to another one. All right, don't get greedy, ho. We're going to do it. I start loading another.
Marley.
So are there any ballistas left?
There aren't, but if you look in Warminster's armaments, you can see there's like a shoulder-mounted rocket launcher, essentially.
Can I use that?
Oh my god.
So yeah, it's like it's kind of like a giant shoulder slingshot. So you put the footlong in, you pull it back, and there's a series of like rubber bands. They look stronger than that, but and you pull the trigger, yeah, and it will just shoot at it. So that's also +3 to hit.
Okay. Sure. I'll give that a try, I guess.
How many footlongs are we up to now? This would be
your 3rd footlong.
Okay.
21.
That's a hit.
All right, so that's 4d12, you say?
Yes.
And I had to break out my 12-sider. That's fantastic. I'm glad I had one.
Do I need to make an intelligence check to remember what the record was that they set with the Glyth Run?
No, he said it. He said it just was less than 12.
Less than 12.
Less than 12.
So we need to get less than 11.
You need to get less than 11 to break their record on the Glyth Run. Yeah.
To break their record, but it'll still be their record because we'll be part of their.
Yeah, but it'll be
like we have our own ship.
It'll be your record as well.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Exactly.
I'm getting a placard at wherever that matters.
26.
26.
Excellent.
Damage. Nice.
Yeah, I rolled a 12. I'm real excited about it.
12s are good.
Okay. Warminster will tie a rope around himself and jump over the side of the boat.
Yes, he's so hardcore.
And you can kind of hear him thump onto the bottom of the boat, and he starts walking across. And you see a ballista that's underneath the boat.
Oh, yeah.
That he swivels around and uses to fire. You will hit. Ooh. Well, I just broke my dice box. Okay.
You broke your box?
Well, it's like a cheap one from Michael's.
Oh, okay.
It just fell over. Or, yeah. The little handle just fell off. I'll just buy another one. It's no big deal. They're like $2. Okay, so he does some damage. And you guys are up to 4 footlongs.
7 to go, guys.
Okay, let's see who's better at maneuvering the ships.
So they're not dissuaded?
No.
They're hungry.
Let's go.
Can I make an intelligence check? Is that ship alive? I've heard rumors.
Sure.
They fly around in living creatures.
You can make an intelligence check.
Is that should it be history?
Arcana if you have it.
Yeah, I do. That's only a 15.
I encourage you not to roll too high. You will just make yourself more delicious to them.
Well, that's true.
Oh, that's true. I'm a 10.
Which is why I am particularly terrified. I'm very intelligent.
Oh, you poor thing. Do you want a hug?
It's been a burden.
A curse, really.
I have the same problem with being beautiful. It's terrible. It's a real burden. Please, don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
It's okay.
I'm trying to find a little section.
I'm as beautiful as a cat man can be.
You must be a hit without the succubi.
Huh?
You must be a hit without the succubi.
I don't know that I've met one, thankfully.
And the Inky Boys.
Inky Boys?
Yes,
Hey,
the ones
on
I don't want to embarrass you, but it's incubuses.
Oh, there it is.
What about the Sucky Boys?
Sucky Boys.
Sucky boys.
The Sucky Boys.
Yeah.
That's what they should have called the Lost Boys sequel. The Sucky Boys.
Yes.
If I remember correctly, nautiloids are not one of the living ships, but there are ships that are alive. Elves use ships that are alive. They're grown.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, they're like tree ships or something?
Yeah, they're kind of like trees/butterflies. They have like gossamer wings, but the ship is made of like bark and stuff, and they can grow together. There's rumors that there is an entire elven fleet that grew together into one giant floating city.
Ghastly creatures.
I'm really interested in going to that one. Is like Warminster shouting all this stuff over there?
Yes. Quiet! If you look on your right.
He's
Point
still
of
working.
interest.
He's got like the intercom. The
Yeah.
tour guy.
It's just a little
We're
microphone.
fighting like underneath, still working. He's like, I'm sorry, I don't get to break for half an hour.
He is getting a 5-star rating.
Totally getting a 5-star rating.
Yes. Please tell Gate 1 what you enjoyed about the tour. And tips are always appreciated. Okay. So, you can see Alvar does like a little zigzag move, and kind of barrel rolls the ship, which is slightly alarming because it's an open ship. But you all stick to the center
Cat claws.
of gravity plane, and you can kind of see Bubsy is like getting sick in the face.
Doesn't he do this all the time?
He doesn't like.
Maybe he gets sick all the time.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Nervously laps at his water bottle and then falls over.
And the Nautiloid seems to miscalculate where you will be, and they kind of try and take a ramming attack at you guys with their giant spike thing on the front, and they miss you pretty heavily because of Alvar's piloting, and then they will shoot some things at you guys.
I very specifically set my spells for downtime, by the way, so G, F, Y, Andrew. I'm not defenseless, but some of my better spells would be useful now.
Okay. Some big old ballista arrows crack against the side of the ship, and it takes damage. And they're kind of sticking out of it at various points. So now it's even radder when you do things like barrel rolls.
Sure.
Okay.
Go with that.
It's your turn again, guys. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna shoot again. Does the ship, the Nautiloid, seem to be like taking damage? Is it still looking tough?
It's definitely taking damage. You can see there's smoke pouring out of parts of it, and every once in a while you can see it looks like some kind of humanoid. It's a little hard to tell from here. Will occasionally like fall out of the ship. Like there's been an explosion on the hull and people are sucked into wild space. But then they kind of float next to the ship.
Right.
Because of the way wild space gravity works. And they try and like claw their way back onto the ship. But you're definitely doing damage to it.
Great. I'm going to roll again. 15?
Is a hit.
Oh, hooray. Okay. A less amazing roll, but still not bad. 12 plus. Whoa. Only 16 points this time.
Okay.
Less effective by about half.
That one kind of... You thought your aim was good, and it kind of skitters off to the side of the ship, and it still explodes, but it doesn't make a direct impact into the ship.
Right.
Hester.
Yes. Are they any closer? Are we staying around the same distance?
Around the same distance. The maneuver that they kind of charged got them a little closer, but...
Okay. Well, I suppose I don't see much reason yet to change tactics. And Willow is like already loading another one of these things in there because she is a danger hoe. So let's
be like handing Willow, because I imagine that me and Willow have become like best friends
immediately.
I like Willow, but she scares me when she barks.
Yeah, it's just off-putting. She's got a whole act. She's kind of more of a prop comic, though, if we're being honest. All right, so yes, I am shooting away. That was not very good. Let's change it to a 12, and that is one of my. I see a world in which I didn't miss just now, like biffed it hard, but rather was super heroic, and the wind looked really rad in my hair. Willow was there. Marley, you were there. That's a 15.
That's a hit.
Okay.
Me and Willow were like cheering you on in the background.
Yes, you were high-fiving.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 4d12 if I recall. So that's 3, not great. 11 makes up for it. That's 14. Another 4, that's 18. And 2. So what? That was 20 then.
Okay.
Sorry, we're not under the average footlong rate yet.
Okay. And Marley. Sorry, go ahead.
Does Marley have more shoulder-mounted goodness that she can distribute, or is that like a one-shot only? Okay, good.
Oh, no, yeah, she can reload and fire again.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Oh, not as good that time. You said it was a +3?
+3.
Yeah, so it's only gonna be 12.
12 skitters off into space harmlessly. Unless...
Use one of my lucks. I believe I can do that. I can make someone else... Maybe I can only make someone else re-roll against me.
Let me see.
Yeah, sorry. I really... Every time I intend to cut down on the amount of crap I'm looking up on stream, I always pick some new weird thing that I'm not entirely sure.
Chris Perkins does it too. I've seen him.
Yes, but... I'm really...
And he wrote the game with everybody else. There's just so much to remember, you know?
There truly is.
Plus, then you get to use your books.
But it does seem... I can imagine it would have to be about me.
It's either you or someone targeting you.
Okay. Hate to do it, but it's not going to be any better on someone whiffing a save. So I also see a world in which Marley looked just as rad right after me. I will make that a 19.
Okay.
And I am out of forced outcomes.
But you still have all your luck points.
I still have all my luck points.
So there's 2 universes where different versions of both of you whiffed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But in the best
thing we
timeline...
avoided those.
Yes.
So roll your damage, Marley.
All right. 2.
Are you going to get a flash of alternate versions of you getting your brain sucked out by
monsters? I'm keeping a lid on it, but I am terrified. The closer these things get, it's not going to be good. They can
34.
smell my diploma.
Right. They're like, oh, with honors, cum laude. Yummy.
What was that, Marley?
34.
Oh my god.
Very nice.
I got another 12.
Marley's a beast.
Okay, and Warminster.
With that shoulder-mounted rocket, you're like War Machine there.
Yeah. High fives all around.
Jeez, dude, you think you'd be better at this? Oh my god.
Warminster? He has an inspiration, don't forget.
Well, his attack roll was great. His damage roll was terrible.
Yeah.
But the Nautiloid is sputtering smoke, and big chunks of it are missing, and it kind of swings in behind you. And let's see how the maneuvering goes.
It's going to try and board us. Take our ship. Does our ship still look better than theirs?
Yes,
even though
there's
for sure. And
ours was the hunk of junk to begin with.
Yes. But none of it.
Now you're
their ship.
But none of it is smoking.
Right, that's true.
Not yet. Wait until
That's
the float goes
steam.
Right.
So
It's not smoke, it's vape.
Right, exactly. Mental high five, Marty.
So you're going along, and the Nautiloid swings in behind you, and it is getting alarmingly close until Alvar quickly pulls up on the ship, and kind of the point of the Nautiloid skids under you guys, and you hear Warminster go, "Oh!"
Oh no! Is he okay?
He's fine, yeah. But then Alvar seems to purposefully disengage some of the steam pipes, and they all fall onto the Nautiloid ship. And he quickly spins the ship starboard and pulls away, snapping off a couple of the ballistas that were stuck in it, and the Nautiloid ship sputters and starts to fly towards one of the moons.
So they're on the...
and they seem to be fleeing this fight.
Okay.
Yeah. And you guys made the Glyth Run in less than 8 footlongs. I'm sorry, less than 9.
Boom!
Less than 9 footlongs.
Less than 9.
I love it. It's going on the list.
That was terrifying.
That was awesome.
It was pretty great.
Yeah, Warminster will pull himself back up. Jolly good, quite right. Excellent work all around.
Warminster.
Yes.
Warminster.
Start gathering up all his footlongs.
Can you get down here, please?
Yes. He'll get low.
I would like to slap him.
Oh!
I have advantage on strength rolls right now. Because
Yes,
there's
you
a
do.
bear totem. I have a postgraduate degree. You do not fly me through illithid space. My God.
Warminster also had 13 temporary hit points, so he should be okay.
Yeah. He will
I just wanted it to really ring. He's a big hippo man.
No, you can see it's bruising a little bit on his snout. And he says, wasn't my idea.
Oh, I will slap him the minute he is out of the helm and not in charge of getting us the hell away from here.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Warminster. I am very agile right now.
He'll hand you a blanket and a hot cocoa.
Thank you. It's a very difficult time for me.
Are you a conjurer?
No.
Well, not you, him.
Oh,
Where did you get that cocoa?
He says,
just a...
he says, always keep a flask.
Yes, he's British. Can't you hear that?
What is
Knows where to have a blanket and a cocoa around.
what
Not
is
uncivilized.
what
Like
is
a Scot
Brit?
Madron.
Brit.
I go and sit in the boat hat.
That's our term.
We're taking it back.
Warminster will pat you, Storm, and say, I don't understand a word she says, and walk away.
Oh, thank you.
Ridiculous accent.
What is it even? What and jolly good?
Jolly good.
That guy's amazing.
And he just
I
kind
bet
of
he's got some stories.
he kind of just starts humming Anchors Away. It's
So those guys are
tweaking.
fleeing. They're fleeing us.
Yes.
Wow, we fought off a bunch of mind. I never even got a look at one. I mean, I saw the ones on Brawl, but
As you're flying by, you can just see a mind flayer floating through space next to you guys.
Well, there you go.
is he alive?
He seems to be dead.
Oh,
He's kind of all scorched.
Because this is actually so that I understand it. Hester, of course, understands it quite well, but I think Storm is having some difficulty.
Sure.
We each have kind of like an isolated bit of atmosphere, but between it, it's still kind of space proper. Like you can still suffocate. You will run out of
So, yeah, you will. So
air.
So each person has 2d10 minutes of air. So when you leave an atmosphere, you can survive for up to 20 minutes.
Okay.
Bigger ships, essentially the bigger something's like plane of gravity is, it's all very, ancient Greek pseudoscience. The bigger something is, the bigger the atmosphere around it, so it can support more people. So ships, when they enter like the Rock of Brawl, for instance, their atmosphere Thank you very much, Liz and Jay. I forgot it started auto-muted. So
it's all phlogiston lessons so far, so
it's all atmosphere.
yeah.
So so every object has its own atmosphere. Humanoids have 2d10 minutes. If you enter a bigger atmosphere, yours is replenished. So in theory, you can survive floating through space for 20 minutes. You just have to find something to keep refreshing your atmosphere. And I think clerics can get spells that do that in this setting. Also have to see if wizards can as well. And druids might be able to.
Actually, I would suspect.
So if I had a helmet full of water,
Mm-hmm.
I could use my ring of water breathing, and I'd be fine.
In theory, yes.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
But where would I get a helmet full of water?
Yeah,
There were fresh water basins in each of our rooms, actually.
Yeah, but like a fit, and I'd have to get some skill cosplay work on that.
But, and then the other thing is, gravity is relative on spaceships. So, if you, for instance, when Warminster floated to the bottom of the ship, he stood up straight and could walk across the bottom of the ship because gravity is essentially along the central plane. Whatever way you were facing, it works. And if you were thrown overboard, you don't go totally overboard. You kind of bob back and forth between the gravity planes, and someone can grab you and pull you back in.
And there is an up and a down.
Mm-hmm. But
that is relative to your perspective.
Yes.
Right, but so it's making me think of planets, right? Because we have gravity, and we, people on opposite ends of our planet don't fall off, right? Because of gravity. So our planets rotate. Does the ship suddenly rotate as it moves through space?
No, because magic.
Just checking.
No,
because
yeah,
magic. I love it.
Yeah, it is. It is one of those things where it makes sense, but it doesn't.
It's Little Prince logic. Yeah, he lives on that little planet, but whenever he walks upside down, he's still just right side up.
It makes sense, but it has no actual scientific explanation behind it.
I do love it, so I'm going to rewatch Adventures of Baron Munchausen to refresh myself on moon logic.
Moon logic. Ray di tutto.
Which you may call me Ray.
So, as you guys are kind of putting along, you guys leave the planetoid you're on, or you're near behind, and you kind of swing around, and the ship starts to sputter. And Alvar, you can hear him yell over the loudspeaker. He says, "Well, we made great time. We're gonna have to make a pit stop."
Are we gonna lose the time we gained?
No, we should be fine. We're not going to Glyth. Don't slap the GIF.
Take my cocoa back. He's not unplugging for that infernal machine.
He says we're going to Garden. It's fine.
I'm putting on some airs, but I'm not necessarily a neophyte to wild spaces. We're still within Toral Sphere.
Yes, you're still in Realm of Space.
Can I make some kind of what the fuck's the garden roll?
Sure.
I do try to be informed. I do a whole let's go Toral, thing. I have a lot of post-it notes. I'm that girl.
Realm of Space for Dummies.
Realm Space for Dummies. Realm Space for 5 gold a day. Or I guess 5 silver a day probably would be the...
Yeah, 5 gold a day is living it up.
Yeah, actually, you can go almost anywhere in the D&Ds. So what do we like here? A history? Arcana?
History or Arcana.
All right, well, they're the same, but... Ooh. Oh, I don't roll 1s.
Oh, nice.
Oh, but I do roll 19s. So that's a 24.
Excellent. Okay. So Garden is the next planet in the sphere, and it's not so much a planet as it is a group of asteroids that are stuck in the roots of a giant tree in space.
Elves?
Hence the name.
No, it's typically a place where ships can resupply food, water, and air. And because of its nature, it tends to be a little piratey.
Okay, but it's naturally occurring? It's not an elvish thing? Okay.
Naturally occurring. Some people call the plant I can never pronounce this.
Yggdrasil?
Yggdrasil's child.
Okay.
Yggdrasil. The world tree.
The world tree, yeah.
Yes.
So it's...
Yeah. Yep.
The garden?
Yes.
That place is a hive of scum and villainy.
Well, how can a garden be a hive of scum and villainy?
Oh, it's fresh Barbary Coast up here.
Look at Storm. I don't know where that is.
Isn't that better than stale Barbary Coast?
This deal is getting worse and worse all the time. She says in a surprisingly crisp lando and walks downstairs.
Crisp lando.
Willow shrugs and flies behind you.
Shrugging, barking owl. Love it.
Okay. So you guys sputter along, and indeed you see a cluster of asteroids stuck in the root of a giant tree.
Wow.
And and you enter the space, and immediately you hadn't really noticed it before, but you immediately feel the air refresh, as if it had been getting stale, and now it's very fresh and nice.
Nice.
And he pulls up to one of the asteroids, and after a couple minutes, Bubsy and Alvar come above deck and start to survey the damage of the ship.
Hey, nice flying, Captain.
He'll look at you and say, "Nice shooting, kid."
Thanks. Although I think Marley here was the shooting star.
Yeah, he'll look around and say, "Y'all did great."
Is the ship okay?
He says, "Well, it's been better, but it'll be fine."
How long do you figure we'll be here for refit?
He kind of looks around at the asteroid, and he says, "I think this is some stuff we can use. A couple hours."
Okay.
Yeah, and him and Warminster will tie ropes to themselves, tie ropes to the ship, and jump off onto the asteroid and start walking along it. And Bubsy just looks at all of you and kind of flops over.
So wait, they tied each other to each other, or are they moored to the boat? Are they walking the boat in?
Yeah, they're kind of walking the boat in. Yeah, so they're moored to the boat.
Okay.
And it is slowly getting closer to the asteroid. You're good. You're good. You're good.
And there are people there to receive us?
There are not. But can I get perception checks?
Mm-hmm. 17.
17, excellent. Okay.
I have not yet resurfaced, but when I do, I will have my luggage with me.
Oh.
Yes. It's not that much at a time, except that I do have several cases of duty-free whiskey that I still have in my possession.
Oh, yeah.
But I am quite livid at the scoundrel who has drug us through illited space to a pirate's hideout. I would highly suggest you all be livid as well.
Marley, would you say? I'm sorry, Storm.
Sir, no, nothing. I'm just processing.
I can't hear you, Marley.
No, you muted yourself or unplugged?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I had accidentally hit my mute button. Okay,
Excellent.
I got an 11.
Okay. I hope we didn't miss anything else from you, and if I ignored you at some point, I am sorry.
No, I was just saying 11, 11,
Okay.
11.
Geez, Andy, I know it's not great, but come on.
That's what I was gonna like, oh, okay. I mean,
At this point, you're just shaming me.
Okay. So as they are walking, Storm, you're kind of following them with your eyes, and at first you don't see anyone else on the asteroid, but then you do see some people kind of come out of one of the holes, and they start yelling back and forth with Alvar and Warminster, and then they approach Alvar and Warminster. It's a couple people dressed mostly in black, and you can see someone who starts walking up towards them is wearing a black shirt kind of open to about mid-chest with a black and gold brocade admiral's coat with a hood covering his eyes, and then black pants and black boots. And they are talking with Alvar and Warminster.
Well, I don't care how hot it is. He's still clearly like neutral evil, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe a chaotic neutral.
I mean, listen, my people wear a lot of black, but that's a lot of black.
It's got gold.
Yes.
That doesn't do anything for it.
Is it a recognizable uniform?
Yeah, give me an intelligence check.
Yes, of the plunging naval navy.
10. 10.
Damn, I missed a better
10.
pun on the way, I think.
What's your history?
My history is +3, so 13.
13, okay. So what he's wearing doesn't look familiar, but some of the other people, as you're squinting at them, you're like, oh, this definitely seems familiar, and you're kind of racking your brain. And then you look up and you see behind them is a ship shaped like a flying serpent, and you're like, oh, these are Zentarum.
In space?
In space. They're Space Zentarum.
Oh, that's cool.
I say, guys, those are Zents.
What's a Zent?
Who?
Zentarum.
Who?
Another one of Marty's characters who should go know who the Zentarum are.
It's one of my favorite bits.
They're, they're a faction on our world. That's very, you never heard of the Zentarum?
No,
like
but they're dressed all in black, and like that guy is serving me cleavage, so I'm pretty sure he's up to no good.
Is that like a city thing? 'Cause we didn't really
Yeah, they're pretty much everywhere. But yes. They, but the fact that they're here. I mean, interesting.
Well, did they seem to be approaching agitatedly our captain, or are they all like,
They're-
great to see you?
No, they seem like they are conducting business.
Okay, I would like to just kind of generally turn on detect thoughts.
Okay, you're
just kind of...
how far? What's the range on detect thoughts?
I'm not sure, but I'm also immediately like I will find out. I'm sorry, that wasn't like a. There's no way of knowing.
I'm not sure, and it doesn't matter. Tell me what they're thinking.
Yeah.
30 feet, so
Okay.
I'm probably not within them, but I would also like to see what my companions are into. My immediate companions, whether they're concerned with the illithids and the pirate den.
So you turn on detect thoughts, and you're immediately overwhelmed with thoughts of food, pellet, water, pets. Food, pellet, water, pets. Food, pellet, water, pets.
Okay, that's Marley. What does Storm of stars have to say.
Food, pellet, water, pets. Food, pellet, water. No.
All right, well,
I'm excited and really into this whole thing. I'm very stirred up, very happy. That whole thing with the mind flayers was very interesting.
I see. So, like the thrill of danger of it all, and
all of it, just the newness and the like. I've heard of these things. I saw some thing, but anyway.
And you've been in space for like less than a week, and you already set a space record. So
that's right.
That is true.
A good space record.
Yeah.
Marley, what is your surface?
My
feelings?
surface thoughts or feelings?
Yes.
So I think that I would be like, Storm said that I was like the best one. I was pretty good. I mean, like there was a moment where I kind of felt like I was wavering a little bit, but then like Hester turned to me, and I just like I nailed that shot, and that was really cool.
All right, I unconsciously pat Marley that she's
unconsciously.
Well, like
physically,
actually, I know what she's thinking. I'm just.
You're like, oh, they're there.
They're there.
Yeah.
She's like, whatever.
Can I get within 30 feet of them? Probably not without a bunch of extra effort.
I mean, you could jump down, you kind of climb down their rope and go to them. They will notice you're coming towards them unless you cast, for instance, greater invisibility. But I don't think you can do both.
No, they would both be concentration. Well, I'm certain they're dangerous, but at the same time, I need Alvar to know that. We're nowhere near the gangplank being lowered, right? They've kind of stopped towing the boat because they're negotiating with criminals.
Yeah, but you certainly are a smart person. You could figure out how to lower it.
Yes, I will start endeavoring to do that, and I will use. I did go to university. Thank you for pointing it out. Willow and I will figure out the mechanism to get me down there because, for all I know, he's selling us into slavery right now.
Yeah. What's your passive
You
perception?
can't read his thoughts?
Marley.
My passive perception?
Yeah.
What is that again? How do I?
10 plus your perception, pretty much.
Yeah,
right?
10 plus perception score.
17.
17.
Nice.
Storm.
My passive is 13.
13. And Hester.
It's 10 plus my perception?
Yeah.
10.
Okay. So Hester, you go down.
Does Willow have a say?
Oh, sure.
Willow's
probably have very good perception, I would think.
I would think so. It would be 13.
Okay. So you go down there and you're like, well, how does this gangplank work? And you're kind of poring over it with your, like, well, mechanically you see it functions here, 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 and here. Mm-hmm. And Marley just points at the big button.
Oh, can I just, like, kick it?
Sure.
Like...
and... Dude, and it's kind of the ship isn't close enough to the asteroid yet, so it kind of flops you can hear it grind like it goes down a little too far, and then it kind of and hits the ground finally.
I found it.
Oh, well spotted, Marley. Good.
Unmute. Hi, everybody. Sorry. My computer freaked out. So, we were saying that the party has lowered the gangplank, and they are looking on the scene as described, where it's Alvar and Warminster talking to the Space Centaurum, and making some kind of deal. So, what did you all want to do?
I am storming down and having Willow kind of hover to talons me back onto my feet should I lose my center down this gangplank. And as I get within 30 feet, I'm trying to read minds.
Okay. Let's see.
I should actually also probably be clutching my wand of enemy detection to see if anyone wants to do me harm. I'm very paranoid. We just went through illithid space.
I thought you were going to be clutching pearls.
That's
good.
I'm looking forward to some things about Hester slowly being let out, but I don't think she's a pearl clutcher very much.
Okay. So, let me just read how something works real fast. Okay. So kind of the base thoughts from Alvar and Warminster are, kind of almost like they're like, are these guys trying to fuck us? Like, can we trust them? You detect no thoughts from the guy in the hood, as if his mind has been blanked.
I don't care for that.
And the other guys are kind of like, their surface thoughts are, kind of, we're getting a good deal out of this because we hold the high ground. Not necessarily in a, well, we're going to stab these guys and let them drift into space, but no, they're just going to make a good deal out of this.
Is that good deal human trafficking? Is that human trafficking us?
No, you don't detect anything like that from them.
Okay. What's Warminster's general demeanor? Gun, punch a Frankenstein gun.
gun. No, he is currently thinking, don't screw us over. Gun.
Okay.
I'll go get my gun.
Sure. Well, I lose some steam as I approach then, because I kind of don't want to blow up a negotiation and progress. So, I will stomp down, get a general read, and probably the blankness of that one guy's thoughts is also very disturbing. And I will just kind of slow and dance with them what brought us for the moment. I'm very angry, though.
Sure.
Audience, you should know I am very turned off by this whole
Dear reader.
Do you do that thing where you pretend that you were like just stretching?
Yes.
Stretching your legs.
Yeah, and Alvar will kind of gesture behind him and say, well, seems like the rest of the crew is here. No, they're good folk, but yeah, we can pay for the parts. You just got to give them to us. And the hooded man nods, and he says, "It's an interesting ship. Very distinct. Would you say? Would you not say? It'd be a shame if certain parties learned its location." Alvar.
Can I get Alvar's surface thoughts?
Yeah. Shit.
Yep.
Shit.
I accept your terms.
But no, he is still trying to play cool as a cucumber on his face.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, don't know what you're talking about, kid.
You're 35, Harrison. You're not that much older.
And this dude is clearly older than this guy.
Yeah. No, I love it.
No.
I love it.
He'll say, the hooded man will say, interesting. He'll say, well, in that case, I won't feel the need to add on some sort of silence tax. And if these terms are agreeable, I'll take my money now. And Alvar, kind of grumbling to himself, reaches into his pouch and counts out some gold, puts it in a little pouch, and hands it to the man.
Can I try to get the number he's thinking of and interrupt by handing the man the gold myself?
Sure.
Oh, snap.
It is 550 gold.
Ooh, you said we could have afforded any of the options, so I presume that that's not undoable?
It's probably maxing out your gold.
Okay, it's... I will contribute And I will step up and say, well, it's really my ship. I should at least pay for some of it.
In Alvar's head immediately, it's not your ship.
I will give him a look that he best get on board. If he doesn't want his ass bounty hunted, apparently. I'll be like, thank you, as always, as handling the docking negotiations, Al. And I will fork over half of it.
Okay.
And I regret that I can't pull a better con here, but it's his ass that's being hunted or something, so it's not my business, really.
Well, but you're on the ship with his ass.
Yes.
So...
and I'm about facing pretty hard, but I am trying to present that maybe this isn't the ship they're looking for.
The man will kind of look you up and down and say, interesting. Yes. Most interesting.
Why, thank you very much. Yes, I am, of course, Rose Lily Strongheart of Mirador. I appreciate that our Zentarum friends here probably have some controlling interest of your local docks, and we do, of course, want to see this through with no complications. But I would have you not harass my man here too much more. We don't need any of your silence taxes or any of your veiled threats. Thank you very much.
He'll kind of chuckle to himself and say, of course, Miss Strongheart, was it?
Strongheart, yes, thank you.
Yes. Mirador's an awfully far away from here, isn't it?
Oh, you've heard of it?
Yes. Bit of a traveler myself.
Mm. It is a journey, yes. That's it.
Oh. He pauses as if you were going to say more and says, that it is. That it is. He'll take the gold and throw it behind him to someone else. And they'll start to go behind them and they'll pull their ship over and start making repairs, which Alvar storms off to oversee. And Warminster goes and helps him. But the man continues to just stand here and watch his crew do that. Just kind of nods at you if you stand by him.
Have you been? Whereabouts in Mirador sphere have you been?
He'll say, well, I've been to Mirador. Fascinating place, the academies and such. Last I heard, they were having a bit of an event. But I'm sure that's all been taken care of. Adventurers and such.
The worst, am I correct?
But he'll say, pleasant stay. Where have you been?
Oh, just fresh off the orb, as they say. Out seeking my adventure. Lived a bit of a academic and sheltered life, and just thought to sow my wild oats. Thought, screw tenure. Bought myself a bit of a fixer-upper, and I'm also talking about the boat. That's a joke at Al's expense. So, and found ourselves on the edge of Taural space where we've run into you lot. It's good to see that people don't change no matter the sphere.
Funny how that works, isn't it?
Isn't it? Well, I should get back to making sure that everything's going smoothly with my ship.
Of course.
And he's got nothing, right? Like, I am trying to this whole time.
Make an Arcana check.
Sure.
It's that helmet, man.
I mean, it's not bad, but I expect part of the fun here is going to be the failure. Yeah, it's a 21.
Okay. he has cast Mind Blank on himself.
Oh, okay. Okay. This is intentional, but it's also explainable, which I think sets Hester a little bit at ease. Like, okay, this is an effect. It's recreatable.
It's
cool
dispellable.
Trick. It's a good way to go into a negotiation, but
it's dispellable.
It is dispellable, but boy, that's aggro.
Balls.
Yeah, that's moved the needle from fake smiles to possibly rolling initiative. I'm not ready to make that commitment. Well, very well met. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
He'll say, folks out here just call me the captain.
Well met, the captain. Again, and I think I probably quoted my own name wrong because I didn't intend to use it this soon, but I'm Lily Rose Strongheart.
Okay.
Is that your real name?
It wasn't supposed to come up this early, but maybe.
I messaged you because I overheard you. It's in your ear. Is that your real name?
I'll just nod over my shoulder as if at my owl. Very pleasant met, the captain, and I do hope that when next we meet, it's on just as pleasant terms.
He says, I hope so too. It's nice to make a little money, make some friends. He'll look at the ship again and say, what was the name of your ship again?
Yes, the Willowed Owl.
I'll have to remember that.
Yes, that bird has the right...
I was about to say. Damn bird.
Yes.
It's a rock in the tree.
Yes, do remember, we intend to make the Glyth Run in just under 9 footlongs.
Impressive. Most impressive.
Whew, about face and scutterbuns. Back to... not him.
That's a human?
It's a human, yes.
Who's your friend?
They just call him the captain, which I found rather ominous. He has no thoughts to detect. It's fine.
Maybe that's a defensive measure against those brain eaters.
It's perfectly... Actually, it might be a spell worth looking into then. Actually, that's very clever, Storm. Yes, let's not discuss too much in case they have more eyes and ears. This is their crew fixing my quote-unquote ship.
Yes. Did you buy the ship?
They were threatening our captain, which, despite the fact that I despise the man, I found myself taking exception to. I am prone to acting brashly, and I won't apologize. Thank you, Marley, for noticing. Okay.
I've noticed you get a little more head up around the captain than other people.
Well, I believe he's put us in terrible danger, and this is just the latest example, but now might not be the time to confront him about it. As we are currently
You just seem a ball of flush. I wanted the news, not the weather.
That's ridiculous. That's silly on its surface.
I'm gonna go look in on the captain of Warminster and see if they need a hand overseeing.
I'll be on deck.
Good. I jam down the gangplank and check out what's going on.
Warminster is consoling Alvar, like, it's okay, we'll be able to put it back the way you like it when we can get to, like, a real dock. But yeah, Alvar is just head in his hands, just, it'll never be the same.
It's the risks we run with combat. Look, Captain, if you need someone to take a bit of the load off as we go, I'm keen on learning how to fly your ship, and I'm willing to pitch in if it'll alleviate some of the stress that you're undergoing. I'm a spellcaster of some ability.
Yeah, he'll look at Warminster and he'll say, well, it would be nice to go a little faster than, bare minimum. He says, the last part of the bit to the edge of the sphere isn't too hard. Maybe you can give it a shot.
Sure. I'm game.
Okay.
Thank you.
A couple hours pass. The ship is repaired. Alvar shoos all of the Zentarum off his boat. You can see the captain is now on his boat, and as I said, it looks like a flying snake. And it's even kind of S-shaped, and you can see along a lot of points of the S are like ballistas, so it has like maximum firing arcs.
Interesting.
And yeah, the captain will just kind of snottily salute you, and they'll fly off into space.
Does it like sidewind as it moves through space, or is it just sort of?
No, yeah, it is.
That's silly. I hate it.
It is a static. It is a static thing. It's not.
It's just going straight.
It's just going straight. Yeah.
That's cool. Everybody barfing on the ship all the time because it's like,
yeah.
Quit it.
Okay, so when you're about to leave, Alvar finds you, Storm, and points at the helm.
Oof. Okay. I sit down. There's a chair, captain's chair.
It is, yeah. So it's this big stone and wooden chair that has a bunch of levers and arcane symbols and runes all over and lines. And when you sit down, he takes the helmet and puts it over your head.
I take my hat off first. Can you? I put it down next to me. So the helmet's this sort of chromy Cerebro thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Where it is in here. Okay. Oh, I remember most of what it does. So when you do, kind of, you can see the helmet in front of you, but more than that, you can sense every bit of the ship. And when you close your eyes, if you think about a part of the ship, you can see it. And you can see out from it. So it's a little disorienting at first, but you are a talented spellcaster, and as you kind of concentrate and reach into your center, you can feel and see around the ship, and Alvar says, nice and easy. And yeah, you can feel the ship will obey your commands. And what's your highest level? What's your highest level unspent spell slot?
Well, I haven't done anything this, so it would be 5.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, 4th level.
Okay.
I have 2. So, great. And do I know where we're going? Like, do I have a sense of that, or does he?
No.
Communicate that to me?
So he will communicate that to you. That's not like. Yeah, that is something that he has learned over time, how to navigate through the stars. So, but he can tell you which way to go, and he has star charts and stuff like that. But it's not like intrinsically when you put the helmet on, you don't know. So, yeah, he'll tell you, and it's really, indeed, it's not very much further or very long to get to the edge of the sphere. So when you do get to the edge of the sphere, everyone on the deck and Storm can see outside the deck. You notice there are a bunch of what you kind of, as you get close, are like, oh, they look like stars, but they're portals on the inside of the sphere, and Warminster will tell you they are portals to the plane of radiance, so avoid them.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Good to know.
And he'll say that there should be a portal to the flow somewhere around here, and he kind of scans it and points, and Alvar directs you into it, and as you approach, those on the everyone can see there's a line of people walking across the edge of the sphere, and they seem to be chanting to themselves. And Warminster says, "Oh, a bunch of weirdos," and you guys fly through the sphere.
Could we hear what they were chanting as we go by?
Yeah, and
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Krishna.
It made no sense to you.
Oh, okay.
Is this unique to Toral, or
this is unique to Toral?
Okay.
Oh, it's not every spaceport has these guys?
Nope, this is unique to
Passing out
Toral.
flowers?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
So you guys fly through the shell, and you enter into this weird soup substance of purple and orange, and Warminster goes over a couple safety tips. He'll say, couple of rules in the phlogiston. First, no fire. Even a match will ignite like a fireball. Some of your spells may not work in the flow, especially if they invoke a divine power, or summon an extraplanar being, temporarily open a hole to somewhere else, things like that. But other than that, it should be smooth sailing. It can all be a lot, but it is a sight to see. And I'll kind of just stare off into space. And then Storm, in the captain's chair, you can feel the boat is starting to kind of float without you willing it to, as if you have caught a stream.
Okay.
And if you will it to, it will start to propel much faster than before. And kind of up on the deck, you can see, it starts like almost hyperspace.
Great. Yeah, I will it.
Okay.
I want to rush to the front of the boat and just stare out in amazement at everything.
Okay. And that's where we'll end the episode.
Yay! I would like to turn away from this fantastic sight, walk back downstairs, and message Alvar that we should talk.
Okay. Uh-oh. And yeah, his response is, uh-oh.
Talk, huh?
Listen, kid. I didn't ask you to buy half my boat or whatever you thought you did.
You like scoundrels. Anyway.
Okay, that's really gaslighting.
Whoa.
And I can bring up a whole lot of my disappointments with Empire Strikes Back next time on Space Chasers. What are we? Star Chasers.
Star Chasers.
Outros and plugs. Timothy.
Hi, I'm Timothy, at Timothy McCown Reynolds on Instagram for art, Timothy Magic, Twitter for, tweets. Tweets.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to plug this game because I'm having a good time. Very much. Hooray, that's it. I'm just having fun. Hooray.
Cece. No, that way. There we go. I was right the first time.
Hi, I'm Cece, aka Soup, aka Soupska, on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me for artwork also. I haven't been posting a whole lot lately, but I am currently working on a commission that I know at least one person in our group will really like. So, we look forward to that.
Cool. And Marty.
I believe it's Space Hamsters.
Oh, I'm sorry. Space Hamster, would you like to say something?
Wow.
That's
profound.
Bit more racist than we like to get on this show, but
yeah.
Whatever,
Really,
hamster.
it's 2019. Get woke, stay woke, hamster. Thank you for putting up with our
Gerbils have
technological difficulties. And I would like to plug that we do not endorse what Space Hamster we imagine said. And that I love Harrison Ford, but a lot of his roles are problematic AF. That's my plug.
It's an interesting plug.
Yeah.
I'm Andy Hatton at Andy Hatton on Twitter. Next week is Phantom Horizons episode 2. and Task Force Unlikely episode 18, The Night Below. So that'll be fun. I was on an episode of Rappin' Athic on its Ramrod Dude's channel. You should check that out. I'll probably tweet a link in a minute. It was really fun. And yeah,
I caught half of it.
It was a lot of fun to go through the Dungeon of Graves. There were a lot of fun traps, and I collected a lot of knoll fingers because they deserved it.
I noticed.
Yeah.
You got a bag that would hold 12 of them.
Yeah,
right?
They're portable and tasty snacks.
So awesome.
A bag worth 10 gold.
Yeah, I paid them for that bag.
Yeah.
Have a good night, everybody.
Yay.
And thank you for putting up with the technical difficulties, as Marty said. Now, where am I going? I'm over here now.
I'm over here now.
Hey!